All right. So, welcome everyone to another session of Office Hours for App Development. So, David and me, we are both developer advocates for platform apps here at Dynatrace. Hi, David.
Hi, Danny. Good to be
And
here with you.
yeah, what do we have today? Let's let's start with the slides. So as always, or as usually, we will be sharing what are the news around app development, what are the new releases, and finally, we will share a round of Q&A. So feel free to post any questions while the streaming is on. So we are kind to answer them, but we also have prepared some questions that were asked within the last month on the developer forum. So head down to you, David, for the news.
Yes, and news is the Dynatrace App Competition 2025. We had this on repeat for the last couple of office hours, so you might have seen this before. But since the registration is still possible, we wanted to have a quick reminder. So this is for Dynatrace partners, and as a Dynatrace partner, you can nominate and submit your app for the competition, and our jury of app experts will evaluate it based on a set of predefined criteria. Uh, I'll get into the criteria on the next slides. You still have a couple of days left to sign up. If you just type in into Google Dynatrace Partner App Competition, you will get exactly to this URL. It's a posting on our developer forum. We had this last year already. It was a good success and a good experience for everyone involved. So yeah, looking forward to the submissions for this year. After the submission, we will have a review. The winners then will be announced in October. So review will take a little bit of time. The different apps that we will receive will be judged on a couple of different criteria. On one hand, innovation and uniqueness of the app, the business need that it solves, how critical it is, and how impactful, so to say. Overall, the user experience and design of the application. Also, how well are best practices incorporated, on our developer portal, dynatrace.dev. We share a lot of best practices, how to use our tools properly and ideally. We're looking at the app's completeness, and also the opinion of the judges obviously will be heard. And out of the sum of these criteria, we will have a winner, and the winner can actually win a super nice prize. If you've been working with Dynatrace for a while, you probably heard about the Dynatrace Perform conference, annual conference of Dynatrace in Las Vegas. And the first prize is really cool. It's a free pass for the whole conference, including 3 nights accommodation for one person. Second and third prize are also nice, not as huge, obviously, but also nice. You get a nice swag pack from Dynatrace with a notebook, pen, a branded polo sweater, and so on, and a nice water bottle also. So yeah, if you are a Dynatrace partner, have a cool app that you have developed or are actively developing, are looking forward to some expert feedback also on your app. Please do go submit it to the partner app competition. All right, so much about that. We have another slide that we had on repeat for the last couple of times. We had it as Strata Design System 2.0 upcoming. But today, when reviewing the slides, we realized it was released today in the afternoon, so just a couple of hours ago. Actually, they went with 2.0.1 right away, but it's available already. The changes are still listing on the upcoming changes page, so that might take a little while until that's moved to somewhere else. But please do refer to it. There are, since it's a major a major version release. Sorry, there are breaking changes included. Yeah, have a look, see what you have to update. If you're running into issues, go to the developer forum, ask for help, and we will make sure you get the help that you need. All right, what else was released? A new update for the React hooks package from Dynatrace. We also mentioned this already in the last newsletter, so you might have seen exactly this before. We have a React hook to call to execute the query query from your front end in the application. And there was a deprecation. Before it was called use DQL query. Now it's called use DQL. And you don't put the query in a body object, but right at the in the top object. So that's a super simple change, but it is necessary if you want to upgrade React hooks. We actually recently went over all the code snippets in the developer portal that used the previous version, used the query, updated it to the new one. So all the reference you will find there is up to date and ready for copy pasting. And it was actually really just a simple change like this. So that should be easily achievable. Yes, and that's it from my side for now. Now I want to hand over for the Q&A session, which Dani will guide us through.
All right. Yeah, thank you, David. So happy that Strato Components Preview 2.0 is already released. So feel free to check it out already, see the breaking changes, and figure it out. Everything is for the sake of simplicity. And let's go with the Q&A session.
All right, let's have a look at the first question that we want to cover today.
Yeah, the first question we want to cover is related about intents. And there's someone asking why, when creating an intent from a dashboard app, why is he getting the absolute time frame instead of the relative one? If you go to the next slide, we'll see clearly what I mean by that. So this guy was complaining that from a dashboard app, on the intent that you send from the dashboard app to your custom app, you get the following time frame, which is in absolute terms, is an ISO string. And what he wants actually is the relative time frame, because he doesn't want a snapshot back in time. He wants like the last 30 minutes, the last 7 days. So that was not achievable for him. First, before showing what's the answer on this one, I want to quickly review intents on Dynatrace Apps. So here in the diagram, you can see on the top left that we have the source app with the one that is triggering the intent. So in this case, it will be like the dashboards. So dashboards is calling the Dynatrace built-in function that is send the intent. And once you call send the intent, this is not received by the target app still. It's received by the app shell, which is the wrapper over any app that we have in the platform. And if we continue to see more of the diagram, the app shell is in charge of displaying a pop-up that shows which are the apps that can manage that intent depending on the properties you are sending to him. For example, in this case, it was a time frame. So it will look for the apps that have an intent that receives a time frame and show those apps. So the user can click which is the app he wants to show in the end. And in the last part of the diagram, we receive finally the intent on the destination app, and we can handle it. So the destination application, how does it configure those intents? How does it set up those intents? How anyone and everyone knows that that kind of intent is available through the whole platform if you call an intent to the app shell with any parameter. So you can go to the hub, you can look for the app, in this case dashboards, and you can see the list of the intents that it has available to trigger. And if you expand any of those intents, you can see which are the required parameters and which are the optional ones, the ones that don't have the required keyword. And yeah, if you send an intent which is in the end just a JSON object with the following parameters, for example, DT query, you will be able to open a dashboard with that DT query. And you can check that in the hub for any app. So coming back to the original question, which is how to make dashboard send the relative time frame instead of the absolute time frame. It's on dashboard side, so as the client perspective on their custom app, it's not possible. But what he can do is convert it manually with the following snippet. Thanks, Mostafa Hussein, for providing that. And with that, you can map the time frame to relative time frame, and being able not just to see the snapshot on your custom app, to see the full time frame. For the moment, it's not supported on dashboards to send also the relative time frame, but who knows in the future.
Cool. Thank you for bringing that up. The question in the first place to the user that submitted it, and thanks for Dani to walk us through it, and to Mustafa for providing a cool solution as a workaround. Let's have a look at the next question. It's about the filter field.
Yeah. So this question is about what's the best way to translate a filter field into DQL code. This is a recurring question. Many people has this thought. And if you go to the following slide, we will see what the user means. So this is the filter field. You can see it on top. So it's like a bar that you show the filters in the UI, and the user is able to select them. And what we want is convert this into DQL. So the filter field above, convert it to DQL code, which is what we need in order to query data from Grail in Dynatrace. And yeah, going to the next slide. Good news. This is actually in our roadmap to provide a conversion utility to this mapper. However, it's not available yet, but you can check out the documentation. There's a page that shows you which is the equivalent from one syntax of the filter field to the syntax of DQL. So you can create the mapper yourself meanwhile. If you go to the next slide, we will see the table, as I was saying, like the equals. You can map it to matches value and so on. We have those mappers internally, but so far they are not exposed to the public. And yeah, it's on our roadmap to do so. So stay tuned. Well, I cannot promise any date, but it's coming.
Cool. Just a quick clarification. The conversion to actual DQL is only necessary if you need the DQL query itself, right? If you want to run it on your own. If you're using filter field in the front end, simply it will still filter your table.
Yeah, in the beginning, the idea was that you could use the filter field just for filtering data, but not with Grail. So the idea was to make it DQL agnostic, and it's still like that. So we will provide a utility in the future, but separated from the filter field itself.
Cool. Gotcha. Makes sense. Thank you. All right. So to the user that submitted it, if it's not super urgent and you don't want to go the route of building the mapper yourself, little patience, please. It's on our roadmap. It means it comes eventually. But yeah, you would have a workaround available. Then let's look into the next question, which is about app functions.
Yeah, so this one is interesting. It's from Martin Marco, which is asking about it's having issues authenticating on the following URL through an app function. And actually, if you go to the next slide, in this case, you don't need the app function. You can call that endpoint within your component or React code. And this is basically because it's not even an external endpoint. So in this case, it doesn't make sense to call it from the app function, because in your component you will be already authenticated. So you save a lot of
So you
work.
don't have to authenticate this request again if you're doing it from the
Yeah.
front end. It's already authenticated for you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Inder, by the way, for providing the answer. Is one of our colleagues. And if you go to the next slide, yeah. So you might wonder, so if this is not the case to use an app function, when is the case to use an app function? So we don't want you to use an app function because it's more complicated than using the code in the React app directly. So one scenario where an app function makes a lot of sense is when accessing third-party APIs over the internet. So you avoid CORS, security issues, and so on. Another reason is when you want to do heavy data processing that you don't want to take place in the browser, because it will stop the execution, and the feedback for the user will be less than expected, because maybe the screen freezes or so on, because there's a lot of processing in there. It will be like similar as moving it into a web worker, for example, putting it on the an app function, so it's not in the JavaScript single thread in the front end. Another possible solution, if you want to do some data mapping to make this data more easily consumable within your app's web UI. And there's one final case where, in case you need credentials that you don't want to expose in the UI code, you can do that on the app function as well.
And that will be primarily, again, for non-Dynatrace platform services. Because
Yeah. So this is what I was saying. So since they require some additional setup effort, only use them for these cases is what we recommend. So yeah, for executing a DQL query, you have the use DQL hook that you can use in your app component. So no need to create an app function for that. But if it's one of these 4 cases, yes, you can use an app function.
cool. Keep in mind, app functions have some limitations also. There are limitations about how big the code can be, like in terms of file size, how long the functions can run, and so on. So be aware of that. You will find it in the documentation. Cool. So app functions, and the solution was to just not use an app function in this case, and that should solve the user's question. The next question is about translating a Dynatrace app.
Yeah, so this is the last question, and thank you, Archam, for the question. In this case, we have someone that is asking how to translate a Dynatrace app. And yeah, the answer is the following one in the next slide, which is to use React Intel format.js. It's what we use it internally as well, and it's what we recommend. So in case you're wondering how to translate a Dynatrace app, you can use whatever, but we recommend using that. There's plenty of documentation out there about it, so feel free to experiment on it.
Cool. Thanks again, Dani, for walking us through the questions. We always hope that this is useful to you. Obviously, you can read up on the questions on your own as well in the forum, but we try to we try to give some extra context and so on, some extra explanations that you get some learning experience also from these office hours sessions. All right, let me go into the next section, which is already going towards the closing actually. We just wanted to mention the developer newsletter. As always, every month we're sharing the most interesting updates and releases and so on. For example, you would have read about the use the QL hook deprecation warning in the newsletter. This time we've also shared an update we did to the documents guide, so our guide that we have for the document service. We extended it with examples on one hand that have that use the React hook already, but you can't use the React hook in other cases if it's not a React application. So if you want to access the document service from a notebook or from a workflow or from a dashboard, you can't use the React hook. So we added examples to make it work there as well. Anyway, always a couple of interesting updates in there. If you want to keep up to date, quick reminder how to do it, go to the developer forum, and then on the top navigation, if you hover over developer and switch over to developer blog, this is where we're posting the newsletter. And you will see on the right side, there's a follow button. If you're signed in, you can follow, and then you will get email notifications every time a new newsletter is posted. Good. Our other resources are always available. Developer Q&A forum, as mentioned before. We have the official developer docs at I think it's docs.dynatrace.com. We will have our next office hours in a month on September 9th. Same time, same place. And yes, that is the last slide already. Let me check if we have any live comments that we should address right away. There is a very long one in the language I don't speak.
Yes, sorry, we don't speak Portuguese, but we'll take a look afterwards.
I think that is the only one,
with
right?
the help of Google Translate.
All right. So our colleague Carrie in the background said us that we still have live viewers. So feel free to post your questions. We still have time. We might not be able to answer all of them, but yeah, now will be your chance. If not, if now is not the right time, developer forum. There are also other people that are helping out. We've seen today a couple of answers also from non-Dynatrace employees, from not from our team, where people help each other out, which is super awesome. If you see something like this, give them a kudos, the thumbs up button. I'm sure they appreciate it. All right. I think Carrie posted all the links already. If you want to follow up with the questions that we've handled and where to find the newsletter, and I think with that we can close it, right? Oh wait,
yeah.
Wait. There's
Easy.
a question now. Is there a learning path for the app developer certification?
Good question.
Good question.
There's actually, well, you want
there actually
to
is.
answer it, David?
We covered an answer today from a person called, don't hit me if I get it wrong, but from my memory, he's called Mustafa Hussein.
Mustafa? Yes.
The thing is, he did the certification and he went through the effort to compile a list of learning resources and shared all of this in the developer forum. Let me quickly check without sharing my screen if I can quickly give you a way to find it. Now, where is it?
Yeah, on each certification, you actually have links to all the code or documentation you need to read in order to get the certification. But there's also some people in the community who have wrote like a script or of some things or the most important things you need to check out whenever you want to prepare for that certification. And yeah, this is what David is trying to look for, so he can share the link to you guys.
I'll have it in the.
You showed me actually this morning.
We were talking about it, and I found it in like
Yeah.
2 seconds or so. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong now. Oh wait, maybe.
Found it. I'm gonna share the link now.
You found it? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, maybe so Kerry can share it as well. It's from January, but it should still be pretty much up to date.
Exactly, and it's quite thorough. It has links to various Dynatrace resources, a recommended order, how you should go through it, picking out some most important platform services, for example, and then recommended pages on the Dynatrace documentation that you should go through.
Yeah.
So App Developer Certification Roadmap is the title. And
yeah, we really recommend
Kerry already shared it.
you take the certification, so you challenge yourself how much you know about Dynatrace app. Everything is in there, app functions, intents, all of it. So yeah, if we don't have more questions, I think we can wrap it up.
Yes, thank you for attending today, for your interest in Dynatrace and Dynatrace app development. See you in September, I would say, and enjoy the summer until then.
Yeah, see you.
Goodbye
Enjoy
from
your
Vienna.
vacations.
Bye.